That's $10,000, Connor. Ha ha! Yeah! 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 This show is not for sharpshooters. This show is a fucking machine gun. There's no chewy center to this show. It's all hard candy. This show is not a sniper on a fucking roof. This show is a drone taking out a village. Do not invite me into your house because I will come in and I will wreak fucking havoc. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Folks, it's a weird situation. It's a tenuous situation here in the oldest building in Hollywood. I'm here, as always, doing the show and parked in front of the microphone, sitting in the rolly chair, taking care of business and shepherding you through another episode of this fine podcast. And my producer of the show, my friend Lily Von Stupp, is here, directly across from me, manning the laptop, sipping a Pepsi out of a coffee mug, excited. You know what? Excited is probably a word I would use, actually. That's a good word. Let's talk about that for just a second. Let's talk about Lily Von Stupp and the word excited. No, let's. Lily Von Stupp, I got to tell you, folks, it is... This is a situation that I don't know how to, I can't comprehend it. I don't know how to interpret the situation, really. I'm sitting here, and look, Lily and I are friends, and we talk, and we tell each other things that you probably wouldn't tell somebody else, I would imagine. You go ahead and of course, telling me that makes them really, it's a poor judgment on your part, because I have an open microphone that I'm about to talk into. Like, normally, if you see me during the week, like, if you see me on Thursday and you tell me some shit, I'm going to forget it, and I will never talk about it. But if you see me on Wednesday when I'm sitting in front of a microphone and you tell me a bunch of crazy shit, what do you think I'm going to do with it? Because I never have an opening for the show, as you guys know. Even when I go on stage, I talk about what happened that second, what happened 15 minutes before that. That's what I bring to you. So here I sit, and I don't usually have an opening. I just kind of talk to you guys, and whatever happens, happens. And go back and check the records of this show if you'd like. Go back and look. It's always about me parking. It's always about something that just happened, because that's kind of how I like to jump into this show. I like to bring you what's happening in the moment, and then we expand out. It's like, you know what, it's like Risk. You start out with one army in the beginning and it's very local, it's very centralized, but then you'll expand your armies and you go ahead and you conquer everything, and pretty soon the board is covered with plastic in your color and you win. You're victorious. But then some guy from Chechnya punches the game and it falls apart right there on the subway, right? Haha, that's a Seinfeld reference. I was never good at Risk. But let's put it this way. Hold on, I should say this. I was not never good at Risk. I never played Risk. I've never played it in my life. I only know it as a reference. I'm going to be honest with you guys, because I always make it as a reference, like it's because I know it's about armies and stuff, and I would open the board. I got as far, because again, I'm a goofball, all right? I mean, I'll play a 5-hour game of Monopoly, and have, but Risk just seemed like too much for me. Like, all of a sudden we open it up and it's like, okay, you got these little pieces and everything goes. It's like, dude, fuck. Is it like Stratego? Is there going to be a bomb? Is something going to happen eventually? Well, yes, but there's a lot of plotting and a lot of planning, and eventually we all wind up in Turkey. It's like, fuck that. I don't want to do that. I want to go to war. Like, I want to really go to war. We were the kids. Like, when we invented a game, we bought a checkers set when we were little, me and my brothers. And bullshit, let me go ahead and say this. We didn't buy a checkers set. I'm not fucking Mark Twain, all right? Jesus Christ. Yeah, me and Tom and Huck went down to the store, and we bought a fucking checkers set before we painted a fence. Check that, before they painted a fence. I sat there in my overalls with my bare feet in the fucking sand and a straw in my fucking mouth going, hey, paint that fucking fence, Tom and Huck. I want to play these checkers we just bought, because I was the boss. I was the bully. I got cut out of the book. All right, that's what I should just tell you, that I was cut out of the book. Because Mark didn't like the direction my character was taking. He's like, hey, this guy's kind of an asshole. I was on the raft with fucking Nigger Jim and fucking Tom and Huck. Is his name Nigger Jim? I hope to God it is, because if not, I just made up a guy. Holy shit, what if I made up a guy with that name? That's terrible. But that's his name, right? Isn't there that dude in because it became a thing a few months ago or whatever, because it was like in a library and some kid read it, and then a parent, of course, ran for the shelter of a fucking the government and said, take this book out because it's got a terrible word in it. And then Mark Twain rose from the grave and ate her brain. He did. I don't know if you heard that part. That was the best part of the story. Zombie Mark Twain went and ate her brain. Oh my God, that sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. Actually, it's the worst Dr. Seuss book ever written. Zombie Mark Twain will show up and eat your brain. Woody Coody on a train? Ha ha! Twain and a brain on a train. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain! Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Cypress Hill. What if I brought them out? I want to do that sometime. because there's no guests ever on the show. So if I actually brought out a guest, people would fucking lose their mind. Like, because I did all this bullshit up top. By the way, if I did all this bullshit up, Cypress Hill leaves, right?
Pretty much.
DJ Muggs certainly leaves. There's no way he's sitting around for my nonsense.
Oh my God.
Although they'd be, you know what, bullshit. They'd be high as fuck and they would love it. They'd be like, that dude won't fucking stop talking. And they would just completely get high as fuck here in the oldest building in Hollywood. We got to call him. Let's call Cypress Hill.
I'll get on that.
You do that.
If you want me to book him, I will.
Probably not.
Okay.
I know how literal you take everything that I say. You know who you could book for me? Nigger Jim. Bring him in. Have him paddle his raft up to the door.
Right on that.
But then our show will not be allowed in the library. Oh, I can't have that. You know what? Don't book him. I need this show to stay in the libraries all over America. I can't possibly risk having it taken out because people check this out all the time. More of a book than a movie.
Oh.
What was I talking about before Zombie Mark Twain showed up? Oh, Checkers. All right, so dude, so I never bought Checkers. Checkers just kind of came in your house. You know that? By the way, that happened to Richard Nixon. It was terrible. He had to clean the rug. Checkers came in Richard Nixon's house, and it meant a lot. It's something completely different.
Oh my Christ.
I just did a joke about Richard Nixon's dog. You know what? Fuck, I was talking about libraries, too. Let's talk about every old, outdated thing in this country. Richard Nixon's dog in a library. All right. So when I was a kid, we had Checkers. Getting a little crazy here. I'm yelling. It's okay if I yell, right? We can do that. It's my show. I can do whatever I want. If I yell, Cypress Hill definitely would leave. I have to keep it on an even keel. So when we were kids, but this is all right. So when I talk about not wanting to play long games like Risk, we would open it up, and it was just there's a fucking ton of instructions you got to read. Look, I'm smart. All right, I'm not going to lie. I'm a smart person. I'm not a genius. We clarified that in year 2, but I'm kind of smart. But unfortunately, when you're smart, it doesn't mean you have the patience to do shit. It's like I've never had patience my whole life. I don't want to do algebra. I don't want to do math. I mean, I can do math in my head. Oh, I'll tell you this. Well, I'll tell you that later. Remind me. Write down the thing I got to tell them later about math. What? You're not going to do that? Just write math. Tell them I got to tell them about math later. We'll never get to it, probably. Do me a favor, Nigger Jim. Remember, they got to talk about math.
God, we're all going to jail.
What? So that was his name. He's in the book.
I don't know if that's true. I'm looking it up.
You know what? Honestly, look it up, because if he's not in the book, we're starting over. But I'm pretty sure he's in the book, and it caused a big deal with everybody. And I just like the fact that you have to Google that and get on some watch list for the government now.
Yeah, it is. That's his character, Huck and Nigger Jim. They hang out together and solve problems.
You're goddamn right they do.
Oh.
Everybody needs to have a part. You know, they were the first Lethal Weapon team up.
That would make it much more fun.
Fuck Danny Glover and Glover. God damn it! I can't talk. Danny Glover. That's what happens if you drown Danny Glover in a bathtub. Jesus Christ. That's Danny Glover. Oh my God. Fuck Danny Glover and Mel Gibson. We got Huck and Nigger Jim on the case. You want a shot at the title? Don't mind if I do. Nigger Jim, hold my straw hat.
Oh my God.
That's when Huckleberry Finn fought Mr. Joshua in the yard. You guys are going to spin off this planet. You're on fucking Pluto. Holy shit. All right. They're solving crimes. All right, so I love that they solve problems, that they're like a team. They have a van. They have a mystery machine, talking dog. All right. All right, so how did it even get there?
Let's go to the math thing.
No, that's much later. Please, I'll remember it later. So I'm dumb. Like, I mean, I'm smart, but I'm also a child. Like, it's like if you give me something that has a ton of instructions, I just start punching it eventually. I hate it so much because I hate sitting and learning that. I don't want to do that. And I'm sure there's some sort of disease. They've got a name for it or something. It's OCD, ADD. I've got all of it. I got all the D's. I told you that. But I have no patience. That's why, again, when my wife was around, she fixed everything and did stuff and connected stuff. I'm constantly in fear now that something's going to happen in my house and I won't know what the fuck to do about it. I got on my computer the other day and the internet was out, and I almost like freaked out and just started yelling like help. I mean, because I don't know how to deal with those situations. I'm very bad at that. Or when the TiVo goes out or something, I just stare. I stare because I don't want to get back there behind the fucking TV and look at that spaghetti and try to figure out red wire, blue wire. I'm not fucking Martin Riggs again. I need Huck and Nigger Jim in there to fix my goddamn house. They solve problems.
Oh my Christ.
So how did I even get onto that?
I don't know.
All right. They just showed up. They showed up. Sometimes you have guest stars, folks. You remember the Scooby-Doo where Huck and Nigger Jim showed up to solve crimes with them? You remember that? Like, hey, Scoob. You and Nigger Jim take the back. Me and Huck will take the attic, man. Okay. Oh, Jesus. I just did a Scooby-Doo impression. I've never done that in my life. That's how powerful Huck and Nigger Jim are. They cause Scooby and Shaggy to split up. You've seen the show. Scooby and Shaggy are usually no. Shaggy's like, dude, I am in with Nigger Jim. We're going up and taking the upstairs. Like, hey, man. All right. Do you think anybody's even listening now? Nobody's listening. Everybody's gone. Oh, Jesus. This is my fault. See, folks, when you don't know where you're going, sometimes you wind up in a fucking van with Huck and Nigger Jim. It just happens. Oh, I am so going to get pulled from the library.
Oh my God.
All right, so...
Oh my God.
So the point is I'm violent. I'm not violent. I'm a child. I'm a giant child. Look at the name of the show, folks. I guess that'll tell you all you need to know. Really? I'm going to clarify this for fucking 3 paragraphs. Paragraphs? Yes, I'm writing this. Folks, I don't know if you know this. I have a stenographer here. She takes out the fucking notes. We should start a website where we put up all the notes from the show.
Oh.
I'll talk about that in a few minutes. I don't like learning. Does that make... I mean, because I just need to know something instinctually. And I will tell you this. All right, this is true. I have my car. It's like 2006. All right, and I bought it in like late 2005. It was the first wave of 2006s, and it was just a shiny piece of fucking candy. I wanted to stick my dick in it the second I fucking saw it. God damn, I love my car. So it's just amazing because you know the story about it. We went to go get Karen a car, and then I drove off the lot with that one. What a shock that she left. Hey, honey, let's get you a new car. Wait a minute. Why did I buy the most expensive thing I've ever purchased in my life? We'll get you a car eventually. What a cock. Honey, it's okay. Let's go look for a car for you. Oh, you know what? I think I can get this car. What a jag off. It's no wonder she's fucking gone. The only thing that would have been better is she would have drove off in my car. Just to fucking show me up. Oh, Jesus. No wonder she split. Hey, let's go get this car for you. No, I think I'll buy it. What a terrible fucking person. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. All right. Fuck, I am crying. All right, that made me laugh. How true. What a terrible dude. All right, so just fucking awful. You know what's funny? I'm having lunch with her Saturday. I know, how weird is that? Like, she called me and she's like, she's got to pick up a key. Some bullshit. Again, one of her 18 trips to the house, she kept forgetting, hey, Mike, could you bring me that butter knife that I always used? What the fuck? Enough. Sorry, I took a torch to the house when you left. Asked the cops. They came and put it out. They knew the address. So she contacted me and she needs this key. It's like the spare key for her car. Well, look, we bought her like 3 new cars all together, okay? You do realize that. It wasn't like, I wasn't just this asshole. She wasn't driving the jalopy while I was buying new cars.
That's my marriage.
Yeah, there you go. That was Lily's marriage. And you got but at least you got your jalopy in the divorce.
The jalopy in the divorce, yes, it's awesome. Oh, fuck.
God damn it. All right, so So Karen needs like the key for the house, and she's like, and so she wrote me. She's like, look, I got to get that key. And I was just gonna FedEx her the key because I mean I didn't want to, 'cause she lives far away and whatever the fuck. And she's like, well, I'll be by you and I can pick it up. And I go, no, you don't have to do that. I will go ahead and FedEx it. But then she's like, well, no, I need a signature from you on, because whatever the fuck, who cares? She needs a signature from me on something. So I said, all right, that's cool. I said, so I wrote her, and she's like, I thought she was just coming to the house to pick it up. And then she wrote me, she's like, well, we can meet somewhere by the house. And I'm like, well, how about the parking lot of the police station? I know we'll be safe. But I didn't say that because I'm trying to be nice. So I just said, okay, you got to tell me where. And she wrote, how about sushi? Which fucking threw me, because I didn't anticipate that I'm having lunch. And I said, okay, well, where? And I said, they don't open till noon. Because initially, she's like, I said, what time do you want to meet? She said, 8 a.m. Saturday morning. I'm like, that's not fucking happening ever. 8 a.m. So I said, no, that doesn't work at all for me. And I tell you what, it's so funny because with that weird give and take, we were married. You tried to accommodate, and I didn't. That's why she left. Okay, so that's fine. But I now, I can say no and feel okay about saying no because that's, we have separate lives now, and my life is not conducive to meeting at 8 o'clock in the fucking morning. So I was like, no, that's not going to work for me, man. And so she said, all right, I'll need to think about it. I said, well, what is the latest, earliest you can meet? Meaning still in the morning, but late enough for me to be a fucking functioning human being. And she said, well, how about 11? I said, great. And then she picked sushi. I said, they don't open until noon. She goes, that's great. We'll meet for sushi at noon. And, part of me, though, wants to show up and not order any food. The same fucking thing I used to do that made her mad that made her leave, basically made her leave. And just sit down and they bring the menu and I just go, I'm not eating. And I just want to do it just to see her face. Like I might do it literally because I will eat. Eventually I'll just eat and I'll smirk. But I almost want to do it just to see what she does because, in the old days, that was the thing. So I told you the one thing I would always do is I'd say, yeah, she'd pick a restaurant and we'd go there and we'd get in and I'd go, I'm not eating, so get whatever you want. I mean, it was just this fucking jag-off move. But the funny thing will be if Saturday we sit down and I go, hey, I'm polite and I'm nice and we sit on a table and they bring the menu, I'm not eating. Go ahead. I know you like it here. I just want to see her face. I just want to see her staring at me and just going... I literally, what I would do is if I was her and I did that, I'd just nod. Mm-hmm. Because it would confirm every single decision she made was right. So how do we get out of that?
I don't know. You were talking about checkers.
I was.
No idea how we got.
But I talked to, all right, because I was explaining that I don't like to fix things. I don't like to learn things. Yeah. I don't, that's what, I will tell you this. It's one of the reasons why I love Macs because they're just plug and play. Like literally you just turn them on and you know exactly what to do. And I can run a Windows. I mean, I ran that and I knew how to work a computer, but not like Mac. I mean, all of a sudden everything plugs into everything else and it all fits and it's just this fucking huge electronic daisy chain of nonsense and it's awesome. It all works perfectly and everybody's getting off and it's great. So my iPod's connected to my computer and my computer's connected to my iPhone and my iPhone's connected to my desktop. It's fucking great. I want Herman Munster to come in and sing a song about it. So, goddamn, that's even older than Nixon's dog, Herman Munster. What the fuck? Bring it into this century. Well, then again, let's be honest. Huck Finn and Nigger Jim aren't exactly modern. No matter what modern situations I put them in. Throw them in a Testarossa and have them chasing down fucking drug dealers in Miami. There you go. I modernized it. All right. So, are you writing down? What if you name the show Nigger Jim? What if we just did that? Fucking.
It has to be Huck Finn and Nigger Jim.
Oh, okay. Well, again, it doesn't matter now because nobody's listening. So, I think everybody bailed the 18th time I mentioned Huck's partner.
Cypress Hill is still with you.
Are they here? Because they're high as fuck. And also, again, as we've clarified, they're insane in the membrane. So I don't like figuring things out. So much so that, this is true, I went and bought my car in 2006. And it's got bells and fucking whistles. It's got everything, man. Leather seats and heated seats. Both your ass and your back. Like you can flick two different switches and heat everything. Power mirrors, power windows. It's just a fucking amazing hunk of automobile. And it has, like I said, the GPS. And with the GPS, not only will it tell you where to go, and there's a lady who lives in my car and she'll talk if I want her to, but when you program it, it has an address book. So I'll put in an address and it'll say add to address book, and I can say yes, and it just goes right into the address book. Well, I've been doing that since 2006. And then with my new gig, I put in a lot of addresses. So I was like, well, it's getting kind of crowded here, and I don't want to do all that. I don't want to cut through so many names. I wasn't putting them in the address book, mind you. I was putting them in just the big field. So I was like, well, all right, let's put it this way. I never use the address book, okay? But I put a bunch of names in it, a bunch of addresses. What I use is the field where you initially enter the addresses, so then I'll just scroll down and pick it from there instead of using the address book. But because I've been putting so many different addresses in there now, they're getting buried, so it makes me click a bunch more. So I'm like, oh, I should start using this address book for what it was fucking meant to be used for. So I went to the actual address book, and there's a bunch of addresses that I don't use anymore. It's funny, the top address, or this will tell you everything you need to know. The top address in my address book was Jimmy Pardo's old house at the corner of Movie Star and Dicey. That's my top address in my address book. So that'll tell you how long I've been putting fucking addresses in there. So I sat down yesterday and I got in the car and I looked at it and I'm like, I got to fix this. I don't know how to do it. Like I never bothered to figure it out because I could just push a button and add a name. Well, I don't know how to delete names. So I literally had to pull over on the side of the road yesterday and pull out my manual that had dust on it. Like fucking pulled it out. It was like the Necromonicon. It was like fucking... I half expected to open it up and a fucking portal of the Evil Dead world would open up and I was going to get sucked in and me and Bruce Campbell going to have to fucking say groovy with a shotgun on our arm. So I'm like, I open it up and it's like the haunted ghosts fly out. And I had to learn a tutorial of how to delete. And here's the thing that sucks. I can't just highlight everything and delete it because again, I'm Mr. Instant fucking gratification. I have to go single, one by one and delete and hit like 3 different buttons to delete. And if I want to keep an address and change the name, like I changed my buddy Pat and Pilar. I changed their address, just the numbers, to Pat and Pilar. But I had to go in and erase all of the letters in their address and then put Pat and Pilar. Like it just seemed like too much of a... Like in my head, I'm just like, fuck this. This is stupid. So I eventually, literally, it's like me pushing buttons and I'm pulled over on the side of the road and then I go chimp on the whole fucking thing because I can't deal with it. It's just like... and just start punching the dashboard. Drives me fucking crazy. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I just fucking fix. I want to snap my fingers and my address book is fucking full. All right, can we do that? Can somebody invent that? I want to hire somebody. I should go to Home Depot and have one of those motherfuckers just type all this shit into my fucking book. They're not doing anything. They'll be thrilled. It's like, hey, dude, you don't have to clean my septic tank, but you got to spell a bunch of shit right. They're going to be in, right? No. Guy pulls his fucking baseball hat even lower over his eyes. All right. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, at Home Depot, there's a lot of guys who hang around outside looking for work. Because in other countries, they might not know that. They don't have, you know what? I know for a fact in Australia, that with our listeners down there, our friend Anthony, they don't have homes and they don't have depots. So he has no idea what I'm talking about. And they also don't have Mexicans in Australia. He has no clue what that is. He's going, what? He's going to bust out a fucking atlas. That's our man on the ground in Australia, Anthony. All right, so. So I was talking about my car. We kind of pinwheeled around a little bit. Oh, I don't like things. I don't like learning. We talked about that. So that's fine. So, all right, so that gets to this. Checkers. When we were kids, we had a checker set. And again, we only had a checker set because we were poor. Like, only poor people play checkers. Poor people and old people. It's like literally some old man in a brown suit and some kid who went to Toys for Tots. That's the only people in the world who play fucking checkers. Chess is a thinking man's game. All right, they don't pass that out at Toys for Tots because they know those kids are just going to grow up to work in fucking oil bays. They know that. That's for the rich. Chess is the game of the rich, the erudite. That's why the pieces are black and white, because the rich enjoy pitting those colors against one another, whether it's in games or in the real world. Right? We all know that. Yes, I slander the rich. Folks, let's eat the rich. Let's arm ourselves. I'm tired of us and them. You know why? Because I'm us. And as us, we should go and talk to them. We should have a long talk with them. But they won't meet with us. All right, so what am I doing? Shut the fuck up and talk. So, checkers. Again, it's a game for old men. Although chess, you can play that in the park. I guess that's kind of an old man game, too. When the speed chess, when they play that. Dude, I had a great idea for a screenplay about chess. I'm not going to give it away here because eventually I'll write it. Sure, I will. I've had this idea for fucking 20 years. And then Searching for Bobby Fischer came out, and I was so mad there was a movie about chess. I'm like, I'm the guy with the movie about chess. How dare you sully the waters, other guys with movies about chess? This was supposed to be a pristine lake that I could dive into later with my idea for a movie about chess. Of course, the fact that I would never bring that to the forefront or dive into that pristine lake, that should go. So who cares? Nobody gets to write a movie about chess until I die. Because I'm the only one with a good idea for a movie about chess. If you'd have seen the face I made, you'd know I was laughing because I literally don't know where I'm at now. I've painted myself into a chess corner. Checkers. Well, let's just talk about that because old men play checkers, but then also poor kids play checkers. But here's the thing: we get checkers, all right, and on the box it says checkers and AC Doocy. It says it's a checkers and AC Doocy set. So we get the box, and we know how to play checkers. I don't know who taught us. I'm sure some old person did just before he molested all of us. That's what they did. That's what old people do. They teach kids checkers, and then they grab their balls. It's why the Who said, I hope I die before I get old. They knew. They knew their future was just fucking handfuls of balls and checkers. You don't think so? All right, I could be wrong. I will acknowledge that I could be wrong there. Hey, old listeners, write me and let me know if your hands are free. So, again, nobody's listening now anyway, so we can do whatever we want. So there was this game. It said checkers or AC Doocy. Well, we knew the rules of checkers, and checkers was boring. You know, you jump a guy 3 times and you're tired of him, just like it is in most ways of life. Checkers is an apt metaphor for dating because if you jump a guy 3 times, you're bored of it. So, that's not bad. That's not bad for on the fly. Come on. All right. So, the other game, we played checkers, and there's 5 of us, and we all played checkers, and then we were bored of checkers within fucking 15 minutes. But the other game intrigued us. Because we loved the name AC Doocy. We didn't know what the fuck it meant. So we flipped over the box top. And literally checkers is... The instructions for checkers is 1 line. It's like, steal the other guy's checkers. Like, that's it. 1 square at a time, jump that dude until someone doesn't have any more checkers. That's the directions of checkers. Okay? Then, there's that. But there's an entire box top of writing. So the rest of it must have something to do with AC Doocy. So we know the checkers rules. We skip on, and then we start reading the rules of AC Doocy. It's me and Lenny, and Glenn, I think, was there. All of us are there. We're just like reading because we're bored out of our fucking skulls. Toys for Tots, you get shitty toys. Literally, I would get movie passes, and although I got Battling Tops. Oh, to this day, I think I've talked about that on here on the show. The best Christmas gift I've ever received in my life. In my opinion, because the odds of getting something like that at Toys for Tots are so low. Normally, you just get checkers or whooping cough. That's what you get. But instead, they don't wrap it. But you come home with it. Literally, I went to Toys for Tots. My choices were checkers or rubella.
Oh my god.
So... what'd you get? I got checkers. What'd you get? I got the mumps. Toys for Tots. No. You went to Mumps for Tots. That's what happened to you. It was in the other room. It's a common mistake. Happens quite a bit around here. You're poor. You can't read. That's why they put them, because they're trying to kill the poor. That's why they put Mumps for Tots right next door, because they know the poor can't read, and they'll wander in and wind up with mumps. So, so we start reading the AC/DC rules, and all of us are just because again we're 9, and like we're all the same. We're just caged animals at that point. My mom's at work, and we're looking for anything to break. We're looking for fucking shit to ruin, and so we decided to make up our own rules for AC/DC. As I've mentioned, because I want kinetic action. I'm a child, and I'm the same guy now. So our rules that we made up for AC/DC is we set up the checkerboard, okay? And you know how checkers, you have to set them up. There's the 2 back rows, and everybody gets set up in a neat way, and then you move one thing at a time. All right, well, bullshit on that. So here's what we decided for AC/DC. You get all the red checkers, I get the black checkers. Set them up any way you want. Like a fucking defense. Like you're designing your own defense at home, all right? So like you're creating a formation on your own for AC/DC. And then we would shoot the checkers at the other checkers to try to knock them off of the board. As far as I'm concerned, it was AC/DC. And literally, I'm 45 now. 40 years later, no, 37 years later, if you told me to play AC/DC, that's exactly what I would do. So we would set up the checkers, man, and they would be. Here was my favorite one that I did. Oh, dudes, this is the greatest formation in the history of AC/DC. If you're gonna play AC/DC, use this formation because it's genius. My fucking 8-year-old brain designed it and thought of it, and I got mocked. I was mocked by Lenny and Glenn and whoever else was in the room, and I was like, bullshit. You'll see. You will see. Because the whole point was to knock all of the checkers, the other person's checkers, off the board. So we would form these, you'd put them all on the left side or on the right side or right down the middle or something like that. So we're playing, and we're fucking dying. We're laughing so hard because it's just violence. You're just fucking shooting them as hard as you can, and checkers are flying. Someone gets a fucking red in the eye. It's gorgeous. And you're just laughing. It's that thing where you're so hurt because it doesn't matter, but you're laughing. So I thought of this fucking genius formation. I was so happy. It was like 12 checkers, I think it is. I don't know what the fuck it is. And my brother, and the whole thing was when the other guy would set up, you were at a disadvantage if you had to set up first, because then the other guy could try to set up to try to counter you. So we actually spun a checker, and it was like a crown on one side and then an eagle on the other side, and you had to pick crown or eagle, and you spun it, and whichever one won, he could call whether he had to set up his checkers first or make you set up your checkers first. So you never wanted to set up your checkers first, because then the other guy would try to counter you. It was fucking brutal. So I won the spin, and then Lenny had to set up his checkers. So he did it. So then I set up mine. Folks, in every sport, an innovator comes along and changes the face of that game forever. Whether it was the guy who invented the forward pass, whether it was the guy who whether it was Gump Worsley. Gump Worsley who invented he was the first to wear a goalie mask in hockey. He changed the sport. Whether it's a Wilt Chamberlain, who was the first black guy to ever play basketball and be tall. They changed the sport forever. Whether it was quarters. Remember the game quarters you would play when you were drinking? The first person to drop it off of their nose and it bounced into a cup. And I probably talked about that on here because Amy Rux used to do it and fucking bury all of us in quarters. Everybody would be drunk and Amy's just rolling a fucking quarter off her nose. She was an innovator. She changed the face of the game forever. And folks, I am here to tell you that I was that innovator in the game of AC/DC. Because my brother set up his checkers, and I took my 12 checkers, and I put them directly as close to the edge of the middle, as close to the middle of the board as I could. Not toward the back, because you wanted to knock them off the board. So you wanted to get as much real estate as you could. So you went as close to the middle as you could. And I set up my checkers there, and I took all 12 of my checkers, and I stacked them 12 high. And I started to do it. I put 2, and I put 2 more, and I put 2 more. So that's 6. And my brother's like, what the fuck are you doing? And then I put another to make 7. And my brother's like, you're not. And I said, yes, I am. And I put 8 and 9, and then 10 and 11. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I said, yeah, that's right. And I topped it off with 12. I put the 12th one right on the top. So I had an AC/DC death tower in the center of the board. And here's my logic on that, folks. I know you're thinking to yourself, well, Mike, that seems ridiculous. One good shot, and your entire tower comes down. Yes, but think of the odds, folks. Instead of shooting at a mass of checkers, now he's shooting at a tower of checkers. So, indiscriminately, if you just shoot into a crowd, you're going to hit some people. But, conversely, if you're just trying to hit one person, odds are you're going to miss a few shots. So he shoots and he misses, and his checker goes off the board. And I just stare at him. And I'm just like, yeah, exactly. That was the whole point. And now it's my turn, folks. And I realize stacking 12 high was probably not a good idea for offense. Because my logic was if he shot at the tower and he missed, all of his checkers would eventually fly off. Or even if he hit it, the tower would come down and then I would have him surrounded because my checkers would splash all over the goddamn board in a crazy Jackson Pollock crazy quilt of AC Doocy. It was going to be amazing. I thought perfectly about defense. I didn't think of offense because now I have to shoot at him from the top of the tower, which means I have to hit the tower. And the tower, look, as brilliant as this idea is, the tower is not exactly a solid structure. So I looked at it and I started to ponder it. I actually walked around the board and he's like, come on, shoot. And I should tell you, Lenny had disdain for my idea. He didn't see the brilliance in it. He's kind of a lunkhead at the time. But I will tell you this, my brother Glenn, who was involved and was younger than me, but he recognized the potential in the 12-stack tower of AC Doocy. So I actually took a lap around the board, like I said, and Glenn was just sitting there, and I looked at him and I go, what do you think? He's like, you got to tear it down. I said, what? And he goes, well, you can't shoot from the top. He goes, so you thought he was going to hit it and you were going to surround him? And I said, yeah. And he goes, so just knock your own tower over. Made sense. So that's what I did. I just leaned over, and I couldn't decide whether I was going to tip it over or try to shoot from the bottom or shoot from the top because I didn't figure out the best way it would happen. And Glenn looks at me and I go, what is the best way to do it? He goes, I don't know, probably from the top and maybe the bottom. Maybe you'll get lucky because like it'll be that tablecloth trick where like one checker goes. It's not going to happen. And Lenny's just furious. Lenny's just like, come on. And so I'd like to tell you that I shot from the top and changed the face of AC Doocy forever. And I'd certainly like to tell you that I shot from the bottom, and just like the tablecloth trick that many magicians have done before me, only one checker went and the tower stayed standing. But as we both know, I don't like figuring anything out. As we all know, I'm not exactly one for a lot of legwork with the thinking, and I'm glad Glenn was there to get me as far as he did, but at that point, it was on me. It was on me. It was on me. I was the only one playing. So I couldn't decide whether to go from the top or the bottom. So all I did was I took a baseball swing with my arm and I knocked all the fucking checkers off the fucking table. I destroyed my tower, but I sent it flying all over the kitchen. And the best part of it was like Lenny was pissed because he wanted me to shoot, and Glenn was actually pondering scientifically the angles, and I was looking at it, and then I was just like, fuck it, smash! And three distinctly different approaches, like my brother being pissed and my other brother being like thoughtful and me not fun. All of it didn't matter. Just fucking laughed our asses off. Yes! And a game, so then we even, AC Doocy evolved into just smashing the checkers and throwing them all over the kitchen. It was awesome. But I got smart. Next time it was my turn, I only stacked 11, and then I put one like behind the tower, like a little defense. Yeah, so then when it was my shot, I just moved a tiny bit. It's fucking awesome. So there you go. That's AC Doocy and checkers. I don't even know why the fuck that came up. Because you know why? Because I'm just going further and further back in Americana. I did Dixon's dog. I did fucking Huck Finn. I did checkers, which were invented by the fucking Mesopotamians and brought over here on a boat. Did the Mesopotamians go over here on a boat? I have no idea if they did.
Definitely.
All right. So whoever. So. But I will tell you this, right now at home, there's like 4 old people just going, yeah, we get it. Nixon was a jerk and we love checkers. I can't believe you bought that car. So as I was saying, before we got rudely interrupted by checkers and AC Doocy, it's a weird day here. It's a weird show. It's a weird atmosphere, folks. Because, my friend here, Lily Von Stupp, I'm a fan. I enjoy her work, and she's a good friend. And as you know, I will show up here for the show. And I came here today, and I brought her some lunch. I brought her some barbecue chicken and some macaroni and cheese, and she had some lunch, and there was plenty for funnyeddie.com, and he had some as well. And I think I had a drumstick, if I remember correctly. And then Eddie was in the other room, and then Lily and I were here talking, because we will do that before the show. We will sit here and we will talk for a while, just killing time, because it's just I don't even know why I do it, because I should just do the show, right? Shouldn't I do that? But I gotta loosen up. I gotta start talking. I gotta go ahead and get my voice working. I don't know how it works, but I want to hear about Lily's week too. I haven't seen her, and she and I are good friends.
After this, I can tell.
And I wasn't at the. I don't know what that means. That seems like a threat.
I don't know what you're gonna say.
Well, I'm just going to say this. I'm here in the oldest building in Hollywood with my friend Lily, and she's in heat. That's the only way I can put it.
Oh my Christ!
Because we sat here talking, and I got to hear all about the past week and romps. And where her ankles have been. I mean, it's been a crazy discussion. No, not at all. But it's and I didn't even trigger it with anything. I will tell you that, because when I walked in, I'm sore. I'm sore right now because I went to the gym yesterday for the first time in fucking forever. And so I was going to actually say I was sore, but before we even got to that, she's talking, and then she's like, oh yeah, she goes, Eddie is so sore. And I'm like, yeah, and she's like, yeah, she goes, because I can't stop fucking him. I'm like, why are you telling me? She goes, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. I'm just so wound up. And she's like, I recognize that, but it's like, finally he's actually telling me. He's like kind of going, hey, I've got to go to work or whatever he does. Look, I got to put on the big shoes and walk the fuck out of here, okay?
That's funny.
She's so in heat right now. She wants him to squirt his flour in her face.
Oh my Christ!
So we're talking, and she's like, yeah, Eddie's like all like fucking beat up, and he's all sore, and I laughed because in my head I'm just like, well, he can tag me in. I mean, I guess we can go ahead and do that. But like I can't. I got nothing for her. I have nothing to offer, because it's like like I said, it's like I'm a minor leaguer at this point, and doing that's like getting called up to the show, and that's too many levels. That's too many levels for me to jump.
Oh my God! You make me sound awful.
No, are you kidding me? You're at the top of your game. I'm just like, I would walk in just with like a linen suit and flowers. Hi, ma'am, nice to meet you. And then like, fuck, where'd my pants go? Holy shit. Your vagina's like the plant in Little Shop of Horrors.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me.
You're damn right.
Oh my Christ!
And I'm straight Seymour. I got nothing. I have nothing for you. I'm sweeping up and hoping not to get sucked in there.
Oh my God!
You ever seen a space movie when they accidentally open the doors and everything gets sucked outside? That's what I'm dealing with. I am clinging to the rolly chair, hoping not to get sucked in.
Oh my God!
And again, I don't mind getting sucked in. It's just because I couldn't do it. It would just be such a complete letdown for her, where she'd just be like, man, I can't, you're nothing. Get out. Because she's Martin Riggs and I'm Mr. Joshua, and I do not want a shot at the title. Just like what happened to fucking Busey in that movie, I'd just be left laying in the wet bush until the cops took me away.
Oh my Christ!
But that was the whole conversation. She's like, yeah, I'm this, I'm in heat. And she didn't say heat. I said she was in heat, because that's the only word to describe, because she's just like, yeah, I can't stop fucking, and I'm all and everything. And she's like, she was talking about going to get a Pepsi, and she's like, yeah, I'm trying to be good and not have any Pepsi or chocolate or anything, but it's just like, I just need it. Like, I need fucking sex. And then she like put her hand between her legs, and I'm like, wait, hold on a second. You did. Not with malice aforethought, certainly not with bad intentions, but you did it to indicate something, like you put your hand by your dress. Yes, you did. Oh, wow, is it happening unconsciously now? Is that the thing? Wow, Jesus Christ. Maybe you were just hanging like bits of raw meat down there to get it snapped up.
Terrible.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Dude, can we go buy like a fish and you put it in there and just pull out the bones?
No!
That'll be awesome. Like in a cartoon? Just pull out like his xylophone bones?
That is horrible.
That's genius.
That is terrible. Oh my god. I don't think my vagina can do that.
I think it could. I think we should try it. I think it's an experiment. Cypress Hill, what do you think? High as fuck! Okay. So that's the thing. Is I was sitting here for an hour, and like I had things happen in my life in the past week I wanted to talk about with Lily possibly, and maybe touch base on them. No, I was never even asked how I was doing. I got immediately taken to Vagina Town. But it's good. I got an update on it, which is fine. That's all I needed was an update. I get my weekly vagina update, vaginal update, which is by the way, that's a drag queen news show. It's fantastic. Welcome to Vaginal Update.
Oh my god.
Actually, that's the anchor woman on the drag queen news show. Who's your friend?
Vaginal Davis.
Vaginal Davis. There you go. That's why it was in my head. All right.
And the lady Miss Vagina Jenkins. We have two.
Oh, I remember her, the lady Miss Vagina Jenkins. No, let's break that down. Why don't we?
Not.
Everybody else is just like, go back to Checkers, please. And then some people are like, oh, Lily's in heat. I'll AC her doozy. Stack up that tower. But you know what, man? Dude, I'm with you. I don't care. But here's the thing. That's the difference, all right? I recognize that you're in heat, and then you sit here and you tell me all about it, and that's fine, I suppose. I guess I can deal with that and just, not fucking run off a batch right in your fucking oldest bathroom in Hollywood. That's fine. I will avoid it. I won't fucking stick up your sink. You don't want a sticky sink. Nobody wants a sticky sink. But that's the fucking difference between you and me is you're in heat, all right? And then the fucking clown comes in and you can fucking honk his nose all night long, and that's fine. Good for you.
That's what we do.
Exactly. I don't have that luxury anymore. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Sorry.
I walk around, I'm a fucking walking hard-on. It's terrible. It's terrible because I don't know what the fuck to do with it. I don't know. I get no idea what to do with it because it's all, certainly you're jerking off all the time. I mean, all the time, ruining socks. They're so angry at you, and it's just, that's fine. To the point where you're actually going, hey, maybe I should just try some other different clothing. Maybe that'll change it up. I'm shooting it everywhere just to see what'll happen at this fucking point. Like, I'm scared to bump into a wall because I can't even cry about it because cum will come out of my eyes. Fuck me, man. I got to do something about this. It's crazy. It's that thing where you're just like walking around and I don't know what to do. And I mean, and it happens everywhere. I'm all domestic now. I'm domestic. We know that. By domestic, it means I got to do all my own shit now. I have to fucking do my own thing. So I do all my own laundry and I clean my house and all that. That's fine. We all do that, right? That's the thing. But I have to, I had to go to Target the other day. What the fuck? I had to go to Target. And because I used to go when I went Karen and I would go to Target, that was fun because it was like, yay. And I could get whatever. It was the thing where you just bought whatever you wanted and I had credit cards and I would just fill up a cart and we would buy everything and just go for 3 months worth of shopping in one day and you spend $360 at fucking Target. And we had fun because we'd go up and down the aisles and we'd pick stuff out and it was great. Well, now, I don't have credit cards anymore. It's a fucking chore. I got to go myself. And I can't spend money like I want to spend money because sometimes you're in Target and you're like, hey, those look like good tweezers and you just want to grab them for no reason because you don't even fucking need them. Hey, what the fuck is that? It's a spray? Throw it in. I need some towels? Maybe. Why not? Because you walk past a rug. Hey, that blanket is soft. Throw it in the fucking cart. Let's do this. That's the awesome part of life. But I can't do that now because every fucking dime is accounted for. And I wind up in Target being domestic with a list in my head of what I can get. Like I made an impulse buy the other day of Chobani, like my yogurt that I like, because it was 10 for $10. I bought 20 of them. And I'm just stacking them into my head. I'm like, you really buying 20 yogurts? Fuck yeah, I'm buying 20 yogurts. I like 20 yogurts. But then I go, that's not 10 for $10. That's $20 you're putting in your cart right now. You got all those decisions suck. Fuck decisions, man. I just want to spend money. God damn it. And then top it off with me walking around fucking with a cart and every hot young mom in the valley is in this fucking Target shopping. And it's just, I used to laugh because my friend Brian Noonan, he moved to Santa Clarita. He lived there. And he was just like, dude, these fucking stroller moms are just ridiculous when you see them out. And I never even took notice. I would see hot girls, obviously, and I'd turn my head, but I never even thought about it. Well, now, that's all I can fucking think about. Remember how I used to play Who Do You Want to Fuck at the Bank? Now it's Who Don't I Want to Fuck at the Bank? Line them up. Fucking Don Henley style. Just bend them over a couch and I'll go hole to hole. I don't fucking care. I'm serious. I don't give a fuck. Face first, a cock first. I don't care. Everybody's getting done.
Oh my god.
But I see these girls in the fucking in Target, and they're like, they're walking around and they're shopping, and I'm so stupid. Like I'll make eye contact. I'm like, hi. Who wants to say hi to me in the fucking paper towel aisle at Target? I'm not macking. It's just I'm trying to be nice. But at the same time, the stink of desperation is all over me, and I can tell. And I mean, no, fucking no hot mom wants to. I pull up with the cart with fucking Downy and all and 20 Chobanis. It's just. It might as well just say single divorced loser. That's all it fucking says. God damn it, it's terrible. It's terrible. And I don't know what the fuck to do because, again, I'm trying to, I went back to the gym and I got to lose weight because, again, I got to get fuckable. We all know that. It turns out I've lost like fucking 25 pounds since she left. It's the only good thing. But I got to fucking start working out and lifting and doing all that shit and just trying to carve myself out of wood, do something, anything, just to fucking keep my hands out of my fucking pants. Jesus Christ. Just distract yourself from jerking off. Because, again, I would dive into fucking, I'm not a junkie and I'm not a drunk. Unfortunately, those, that's what, if I could just drink my fucking night away or go into a fucking saloon at 2 in the afternoon and stay there till fucking midnight and just drink, fine. Or if I could just get high and lay around and not fucking care, that'd be great. But those are not my particular vices. My fucking vices are candy and pussy, and I'd rather eat pussy than candy. Seriously. That's my mantra now. I need to chant that to myself. That's what keeps me from eating fucking candy. I should do that when I go into fucking Walgreens, just out loud. Just go, I'd rather eat pussy than candy. I'd rather eat pussy than candy. I'd rather eat pussy than candy. Oh, if only I could buy pussy at Walgreens. Oh my God. They got a whole aisle of candy. Where's the pussy aisle at Walgreens? Get me in there. You want me to spend money? I'll drop some fucking money. Believe me, that'll fucking happen. Because that's, it's just money. That's what it is. It's just money. Because now I get no money, so I don't think I can get fucking ladies. Everybody knows how it works. Dude, if I had money, my face would never be dry. God damn it. I'd be the shiniest motherfucker in the world. I'd be driving. Other drivers would be distracted because the sun would be shining off my shiny face. I would just look like a fucking human candle. Forget about it. I'd look like I was bobbing for yolks in a barrel full of egg whites. Get the fuck out of my way. Get the fuck out of my way. Face fucking first. God damn it. So I know what you're saying. You're like, I don't want Pepsi. I don't want chocolate because that's all I want. All I want is candy and pussy. And I fucking, one I can't have and one I don't have. I wonder if it's possible for how drunk guys get whiskey dick, like they drink too much whiskey and they can't get it up. I wonder if fat guys can do that because it hasn't happened to me yet. But I wonder if eventually I'll get cake cock or something where it's just like, I'm sorry, can't get it up. I ate a sheet cake earlier. I should just buy a cake and fuck it at this point. Honestly, I'm looking for anywhere to jam my cock. I should just buy a cake. Because you know what? I've combined, look, I love candy and I love pussy and I've combined the two on occasion. Definitely. So why not throw a cake in the mix? Why not? You making a face? You don't think so? That's a long story. No, I'm sure you do.
Tell that story, Uncle Mike.
Oh my gosh. Have a seat, folks. Gather round. And let's talk about the Missing Mounds Bar.
What?
Yeah, it's a long story. And what's that? Because they're, never mind. What? Yeah, but I don't know what the fuck to do, man. It's just, so I understand what you're talking about. But again, you have an outlet, for fuck's sake. I don't. Well, I guess technically you have an input, really. You don't have an outlet, I guess.
Actually.
Oh, really?
Strap on.
No wonder he's sore.
No, that's not for him.
Okay. Just tell me where it is so I don't step on it again or whatever the fuck.
Again?
Well, that happened
Really?
by year 2. What the fuck? Don't.
That's right,
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, I put my feet up and it turned out to be on a Hitachi Magic Wand one show.
Well, that's what you get for recording in my bedroom.
That's why we moved into the kitchen. Like you're not going to have an Hitachi Magic Wand in your kitchen. Who cares? You're literally, I could find anything at any time in this joint, I'm sure. Yeah, so I gotta just fucking focus and concentrate and not do that. It's like I just stay in my house because I'm a danger to myself and others if I go out. Who the fuck knows? Bumping into the wrong person in the street and a guy at home and change. Terrible. I'd say it's going to be dangerous doing the fucking Tarantino show with you, for fuck's sake. I'm going to just be in a room with like, and it's so funny because like at Lily's Joint, there's a back room and everybody's naked in it, and I've been there, and I know in my head I'm like, dude, you're 5 steps away. You're 5 steps away from going into the room of all the naked girls. You should do it, right? And then I'm like, no, why are you thinking that? Even when I was married, in my head I was just like, just go back there just to hang out. You're part of the show. You're on the bill. You can actually go back there, and you're not a threat. Because again, when you're married, we're just like, oh, that's cool. You're not a threat. It's fine. But now that I'm not. But to them, they don't, and I'm not. Shut up. You can't even think straight now, motherfucker. God damn it.
Should we put the tip jar out that night for your birthday, and all the money that goes in will hire you a hooker?
What? Wait, why do I got to go outside the circle? Why can't one of the fucking burlesque chicks throw me one?
Can I ask for a birthday volunteer?
Sure, why not?
All right, we'll see who wants to give Michael a birthday.
They'll never dance straight again, I'll tell you that. Tell them to wear their corsets, they don't fucking split in half.
Let's do a GoFundMe. Okay.
Go fuck me. We'll do a go fuck me project.
GoFundMe.com to raise.
Let's go to fuckstarter.com. Let's get Mike laid. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so now I'm going to be in that room with a bunch of fucking... That's, all right, I got to stop. All right, so... That's why I'm working so much. Not only because I need fucking money, but also it just keeps my mind off of it. I can just go fucking hop in the car and drive around, and that's not fun either. That's not fucking working.
Elevator story. It doesn't keep your mind off it.
Oh, yeah, no, that's... Yeah, that happened again, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like my meat?
Well, I have a little more game than that. Look, my game is awful, but it's a little better than hi, are you alone? Would you like my meat? Because that sounds like Dirty Harry's going to shoot me in half an hour. I mean, that sounds like a Saw movie, for fuck's sake. Are you alone? Would you like my meat? Yeah, we should just have people bring gifts to the show. Bring fucking porn. You know what? You know what I need? I need a fleshlight, preferably attached to a chick. Let's do that. But yeah, man. So I work and I wind up talking. But I've been working like 12-hour shifts and stuff, and that just it doesn't. I mean, it does keep my mind off of it because I just wind up in the street hating everybody. Like I mean, all of my emotions are like completely amped up at this point. So it's like I'm channeling my rage in all these different directions, and because I love this job, because I love being able to hop in the car. But then you've got to deal with the public when you hop into the cars, and I wind up being just filled with rage when I'm driving because people are terrible. They're so terrible. And they're in their cars and they're texting and they're acting like dicks and they're on the phone, or here's the thing I hate worse. All right, look, texting is awful, or anybody who's on the phone is terrible. But when you're driving behind somebody who's going a full 15 miles less than the speed limit because they're looking for an address. Because I have a computer in my car. I got a lady who lives in my car who knows where everybody in the world lives. So as I approach that place, she'll go, "Hey, your destination's on the left." And I'm like, fantastic. I don't have to slow down. I don't have to worry. I don't have to wait. But the people in front of me, the indigent, the poor, they don't deserve that courtesy because they're looking for addresses. They're squinting out the fucking window. Buy a goddamn computer. Do something. Or don't go out of your house. Don't go fucking out of your house until you have a map that tells you exactly where you're going and you can put it in your ear. Stop reading your printout from Yahoo, Google Maps, or whatever the fuck. Get a wingman. Hire a fucking co-pilot, something, because you're just bogging it down for fucking everybody. And I want to murder them. I want to murder everybody in their fucking cars. It's crazy to me. It's so weird. I don't know why I'm like that. And again, I love the job. I go there. I go to Venice. Dude, I deliver in Venice. And it's a combination of loving it and also just that weird, horrible feeling of inadequacy. Because you're going to these amazing places where people live and you're bringing them food. And that's cool. I got no problem with that. That's my lot in life. That's what I'm doing at this point in time. And I'm grateful to have it. But at the same time, when you have to take fucking ribs to Ocean Walk Drive and walk down Venice Beach and look at girls in roller skates go by and bikinis and just people with fucking, their dogs and frisbees and just the beach and the smell and the feel of the sun. And I'll tell you this, the beach is a miracle. the beach is a goddamn miracle, and I never went. We just never did. And Karen wanted to go all the time, and I just didn't because I'm like, my schedule. And now when I'm down there, it's all I want to do. It's all I want to do is be at the fucking beach. And to the point where every time I go to an apartment, they'll have a thing like, where they're renting, and I'll actually take the phone number. Like that's ever going to happen in a billion years, but it doesn't matter because it's that carrot where you see it and you're like, that would be pretty fucking amazing because I was on Hurricane Drive to deliver something, and I got out of the car, and the second I opened the door, you smell the ocean, and you hear it. And because it's dark, it was real late at night, and I didn't even know how close I was. So I get out, and I immediately hear the ocean. I look down, and down an alley, I'm a block, not even half a block from the ocean. So I bring the guy his food, tips me fucking $2 on like a $60 tab, you dick. The fuck? Hey, people, learn to tip. What the hell is your problem out there? I don't get it. Because, again, there are tons of people who are super generous and they know exactly what they're doing. But then, and I've always been a really good tipper, so maybe that's why I'm baffled by anybody. Like, if you order for something for $60, you got to give at least $5. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You just have to. But these people fucking don't. It's crazy to me. And that's certainly the minority. But every time it happens, it makes me go, it's the point where this actually happened. And it was that guy. Because I grabbed it and he paid me the $2, and I walked down the stairs and out loud, like I should have kept it in my head probably, but out loud I went, $2. Well, that makes a lot of fucking sense. You live on the fucking beach. Why not just tell me to fuck myself? Like I said that out loud to myself, and I was out of earshot away from his house. Maybe I wasn't. I have no idea. I'm sure I'll find out the next time the guy calls for a fucking order of ribs. But I said it out loud because it was just so, because you're entertaining yourself and you're keeping yourself pumped up. So you know what I did to calm myself down? I walked over and I walked to the beach. I walked out by the sand, filmed it. I actually filmed it because it was just, you could hear it. I couldn't even see anything, but you could hear it. You could hear the beach and I could smell it. I wish I could have fucking just taped the smell, for fuck's sake. It was so amazing. So that's great. I get to spend time down at the beach, but people, math. I went to this woman's house to give her food, and I walked in and she had to figure out a tip. So she's trying to figure out percentages, and she's got another thing she got to add up. She's like, yeah, I don't know what this and this and this is. And then I just said it. I was like 78.71. And she goes, what? I said 78.71. So she looks at me and she writes it down on the pad and she continues to add it up. And I just stand there, and then she finishes it, and she goes, did you do that in your head? I said, yeah. She goes, you're incredible. I said, it's just adding. I've always been good with numbers in my head. She goes, no, that was incredible. You're amazing. And in my head, I'm just like, yeah, I'm amazing. That's why I'm standing here with a bag full of Carolina pork fuck to hand to you and get fucking $4. I'm amazing. But she was super sweet and real nice and tipped Rose. And she tipped like $15. And she's like, you got to give half to somebody else and half to you. I'm like, that's fine. Whatever you need, that's fine. Everybody's got rules. Everybody's got their own thing. But then there are people who are mindless. The other night I worked and I got like no deliveries. It was fucking shitty. And then I went to this chick's house. There's 2 young girls and she tipped me $25. And then it's, again, I'm such a fucking walking hard on in my head. I'm like, is she flirting with me by giving me 25? What the fuck's happening here? But again, I have no game. What the fuck am I going to say? Hey, lick my neck. I taste like beans. I mean, what the fuck am I going to say? Been sitting in a goddamn smokehouse all fucking day.
Oh my Christ.
Lick my neck. It tastes like beans. There, that's a pickup line. I need that. But I wind up on the street, and I love the job, but then there's the things of it that you hate. And we all have that with our jobs. You might love your job, but then there's something you don't like. And I wind up on the street, and I get bitter. Like, I'm in the car, and I'm furious. I'm driving behind somebody who's texting, and I'm just like fucking Travis Bickle, man. I'm instead of a cab, though, I'm just delivering fucking food all over town and hating everyone. I'm Travis Barbecue. That's the fuck I am. I'm just fucking Travis Barbecue, driving around and bringing food to everybody, God damn it. That's what I need to do. I just need to shave myself in a mohawk and wear a fucking army jacket and just intimidate the fuck out of everybody. And just drive around fucking Travis Barbecue. Here's a man who would not take it anymore. A man who stood up against the non-tippers, the extra saucers, the rude, the dismissive, the cruel. Here's a man who stood up, God damn it. Travis Barbecue. Every night when I take the car back to the house, I got to clean the barbecue sauce off the back seat. Some nights, I clean off the blue cheese. Yeah. Fucking Travis Barbecue. I got to bang Sybil Shepherd and shoot somebody. Yes, let's do this. Fuck, because I'm dying, folks. I'm dying. It's happening, by the way. I found that out today. I don't know if I told you this. Well, it's stupid me. Of course I didn't tell you this, so I'm telling you now. I made some money, so I'm kind of banking money. And you know me, I'm a hoarder. Like when I get money, I try to make sure that I can fucking. All right, the first thing I do is like I'll go buy like 4 detergents and 4 Downies and 4 deodorants and 4 close-ups and 4 because I can't ever run out of that stuff. Even if I'm homeless, I will be fresh smelling. I demand it. So I have to kind of stock up on stuff. So I went. And yes, you're gonna fucking yell at me. I don't care. I use soap and Scrubby from a place called Bliss Spa or Bliss World or whatever the fuck it is. And I refuse to compromise on that because I'll tell you what, I've used this stuff for like 7 years, and I did try to switch back. Like I tried to use Zest, and it felt like I was rubbing a urinal cake on myself in the shower. I mean, it was just fucking gruesome. It was terrible. I don't know. I can't explain it. Because I use this big minty soap with like chunks of stuff in it, and then I use a scrub on my face. And folks, if you see me and you think to yourself, wow, Mike looks great. Well, you know what? I've been using a scrub for 7 years. That's fantastic. You never think that, but I've still been using a scrub. So I went to order it. Because, like I said, I've got some money, a little bit of cash now, so I can go ahead and kind of bank that stuff for when I don't have cash. For the long winter nights when I actually have no money, I will always have this fucking scrubby dubby for my face. So I go into the website, and you get 20% off. That was another thing. So I said, you know what, I'm going to order enough for the rest of the year. So if I get like 4 bars of soap and then 3 things of scrub, that should cover me. I might need to get soap later, but who knows? But with the 20% off, it works out okay, and I'll do that. So I started building my cart last night, and I hit order, and it tells me, I'm sorry, some of these things cannot be shipped to California. So you will need to just go ahead and buy these things. Like they pretend like you're just going to switch to a different product. So I tried it again because I knew that there was something wrong because I literally ordered these a month ago. I ordered 1 bar of soap and 1 thing of scrub because that's all I had the money for at the time. So, or 6 weeks ago. 8 weeks ago. No, it was like 6 weeks ago. So I ordered that stuff. And so I went to order it. Now it won't let me order it. So I tried it 3 different times last night. It wouldn't happen. So I called customer service at 3:30 in the morning. And they're not there. Shocking. Even though they're located in New York, it was already 6:30. They should have answered the goddamn phone. But no, so I said, all right, so I'll call in the morning. So this morning I got up, I had to go to work, but beforehand I called them because I'm down to like 1/3 of a container and I can't run out of scrubby, folks. So I called them. I got some woman on the phone and I said, hey, I have a question. I tried last night to order some of this mint scrub and this mint soap, and it's telling me that I can't have products shipped to me anymore, and that doesn't make any sense because I've been getting them shipped to me for a long time, as recently as a month ago, 6 weeks ago. 8 weeks ago. No, 6 weeks ago. I want to do that again. And she goes, oh, are you in California? And I said, yeah. She goes, oh, I'm sorry. There's a rule now, like a law that says that we can't, there's something we can't do and we can't send that to you. So I'm real sorry. I said, I'm going to need a little more explanation than that. Because I ordered these a month ago, and you're telling me that California now has just, they won't let you ship it to me? Or I said, can I go buy it in a store? She goes, no, I'm sorry. I said, well, why? What happened? What did you guys do? And she goes, well, it's part of Propaganda 65.
Propaganda?
And I said, I don't know what that means. And she goes, well, it's because it's a rule, and you can look it up on the internet, but because of that, we can't ship anything there anymore because we have to make some adjustments, and we're in the middle of making those adjustments. I go, so when will those adjustments be done? She goes, I don't know, but that's what they're doing. So she has a script in front of her. She has no fucking clue what's going on. So while we're talking, I Google Prop 65, and it comes up, and it's an OSHA ruling about certain chemicals that aren't allowed in California.
Whoa.
Right. Now, that's the noise I made in my head. I made the noise a lot louder in my head when I saw that it was passed in 1986. So, 27 years later, it's going to keep me from getting my mint scrub from this fucking Bliss Spa, but it also doesn't stop me from having used it for the past 7 years and rubbing whatever these chemicals are into my fucking face. I think it was 86, might have been 89. But whatever, it was in the 80s, and I was just like, so I'm reading it, and I said to her, so what are you telling me? She goes, well, because of Propaganda 65, we can't send this out to you because of the chemicals. And I said, you mean Proposition 65? She goes, yes, exactly. I said, okay, but I don't understand. What chemicals are they? She goes, well, I can't tell you. There's a lot of things in our chemical compound, and apparently some of them just conflict. And I go, well, am I in danger here? Like, do I have cancer? Have you killed me with mint scrub from a distance? Was this a long con? What's happening? And she has no sense of humor. She doesn't think I'm funny. And she's just like, sir, I told you it's because of Propaganda 65. We can't ship it to you. I said, well, can I go buy it in a store? She goes, you might be able to find it, but you shouldn't because I think we took it all off the shelves. I said, this sounds serious, like a serious product recall. She goes, sir, it's just because of Propaganda 65. And I said, you know it's Proposition 65, right? She goes, that's what I'm saying. It's Propaganda 65, and because of that, we can't ship it to you. I said, all right, can we agree on one thing? This is ridiculous. You do understand that, right? She goes, yes, we don't understand it either, but unfortunately because of Propaganda 65. And she keeps saying it. Even though I corrected her, she keeps saying it. So the only thing I can gather from this, there's two things. One, either she's not smart. And I'll give you betting odds on that. We can talk about it all day long. Or she wants me to believe the government is organizing a disinformation campaign to put the Bliss Spa out of business. And I'm all for conspiracy theories, and go ahead and revel in those all you want. Bathe in them at the spa, if you will. But I got to think that's a bit of a stretch. You're not Tojo. You're selling soap, all right? So I may be disintegrating before your very eyes, folks. I have no idea. Someone said my face looked thinner. Maybe it's getting eaten away by the chemicals that are in my fucking minty scrub. And Travis Barbecue's not going out like that. God, I'm working doubles like all week. It's so funny. Like I worked here. I worked today before coming here. And I love doing it and I love the people, but then you get in the car and immediately I need a mohawk and a fucking army jacket. That's what I need. I need to protect Jodie Foster and shoot Harvey Keitel in the stomach. That's right, sport. Oh, you talking to me? You talking to me? Then who the hell is you talking to? You talking to me? Well, I'm the only one with ribs here, motherfucker. Who the fuck you think you're talking to? God damn it. I'm Travis Barbecue, baby. All the shitty drivers come out at night. Texters, address hunters, phone chatters, tourists who think LA is Disneyland. Hey, it might be a small world, but it's a big city. People are fucking hungry. Let's move. Someday a real rain's going to come and wash all this scum off the streets. Man, I go all over. I take food to West Hollywood, to Venice, to Marina Del Rey. I don't care. Don't make no difference to me. It does to some. Some won't even take fucking orders under $30. Don't make no difference to me. Travis fucking Barbecue. Travis Bickle-Q. Travis Bickle-Q? Or Travis Barbecue? Travis Barbecue. Better than Travis Bickle-Q. Here is a man who stood up. Travis Barbecue. Lick my neck. I taste like beans. You guys can get me at Mike and MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40yearoldboy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40yearoldboy. David Hernandez does all of the artwork and music for this show. You can be his friend at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. Lily Von Stupp has two different Twitter accounts, Twitter.com/LilyVonStupp and Twitter.com/MNTs. You can find her at Facebook.com/LilyVonStupp. You can join the Monday Night Teas page to get all information about stuff in the future. But if you'd like to write her a personal note, and you'd like to ask her what significance the number 80 has in her life right about now, you can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Drink your coffee, don't hold some pencils, let's soak your frosty, don't hold more pencils, throw a Garber on these mugs, there's Flameboy Schmitty on these mugs, go buy these wicked awesome mugs, at MikeSchmidtComedy.com.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. I was not at this past show, but I know it ran smoothly and I know it went well because I happen to know the producer of this show, which is considered far and wide to be the greatest burlesque show in the history of the West Coast, perhaps the entire United States of America. It is the hottest, it is the sleekest, it is the most sought-after ticket in town. And it all falls in the heat-generating lap of my friend, Lily Von Stupp. Hey, Lily. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I don't know. Oh, I see. Your little lap is talking to us. That's fun.
I am fantastic, Michael. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So how was the show this week that I did not get to attend?
It was fantastic. It was wonderful. It was spectacular. The girls were great. Tuba was hysterical. We had a great time. You missed a birthday spanking of 2 girls who had no panties on.
What the? Why are you even telling me that now? Because now I'm just gonna.
She's like, I don't think I should bend over. And I go, no, I'll do a check to make sure. No, you're right. You can't bend over. Hello.
Wow.
Hello. She was adorable.
Yeah, no, it's good I wasn't there.
And they sat on the upper level, so if you'd have been sitting at the door, you'd have just every time they crossed and uncrossed, because that's all I saw. Yeah.
So you're just really at this point you're just making fun of me. Really,
No,
you're just.
I think it's added to my sexual frustration to sit and watch there was actually 4 girls. 3
You
of them
don't get
were
to use the phrase sexual frustration. You're getting banged out of your fucking skull. I mean, there's no reason for you to even think.
It's like that pit that can't be filled right now. It's like it doesn't. Orgasm after orgasm, there is no satisfying.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Bad.
So you need a Rube Goldberg fucking machine is what you need.
No, I don't think I need that. I need that one that is the right orgasm, I guess.
I see. Well, keep looking.
Like women have different kinds of orgasms. You can have like external clitoral orgasms. You can have internal orgasms. You can have anal orgasms. You can have breast orgasms. You can have combination orgasms. And it was just like, I don't think I've had the right one to just make me go, I'll nap now.
Well, again, the search continues, and that's good for you, and good for Eddie, and good for anyone within a 4-block radius, I would imagine, because people are just going to get tackled and worked. So,
I think I'm going through the change.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna tie some bed sheets together and hop out your window and get the fuck out of here before something bad happens to me. Because I got a feeling, like I said, I got nothing to offer you to the point where you just be going, well, you know what, you're going to be on the wrong end of the stick. I'm going to be the man this time, and I'm just going to get fucking strapped on, which will be not fun. I don't want to get pegged by my friend Lily. Well, good for you. I'm glad that worked out. And the show was great. And you danced, actually. What number did you do? What did I miss?
Special.
Oh,
Thank you.
damn it. Why did I miss that? Infuriating. All right, well, that's fine. I had business. You got to do it. That's the thing. I will not be at this week's show, I don't think, unless I come in late.
Please come. It'd be a really fun
Well, I want to because Cardone is going to be there.
Yes.
Which that guy, when you had him a couple of weeks ago, he was amazing. He was so great and kind of enthralled the audience. He worked the crowd as if he were a busker. Like, those guys at Venice Beach or at the beach who work huge crowds. Well, he worked in a nightclub crowd as if they were on a boardwalk somewhere. It was really fun to watch, and he did magic, and so he's there this week, and he's bringing friends. Is that what I understand?
Bringing a real man with him, and I apologize, I can't remember his name. They're a 3-person group called the New York Variety All Stars.
Okay.
And so they're going to come down. They're going to do a full 45-minute set, and then we've got strippers wrapped around them.
So they're variety, and then you're booking the strippers. They're not bringing out of town strippers.
No.
Oh, cool! But they're doing a whole
But they're
fucking
gonna do
variety
a
and
full
tricks
45
and.
minutes straight through.
That's awesome.
Variety and yeah.
And then you'll have burlesque around it, local
Yep.
burlesque people. Who's dancing?
Tito Benito, Sheila Starr, Carmel Knowledge, and Lucille Highball. So
Fantastic.
it's all like sideshow, circusy kind of acts wrapped around.
Sweet. Should be fun. And that Cardone guy, again, he was amazing. So, and that's the thing. Again, I always make fun of your baggy pants comedy predilection, and I make fun of all that old school stuff. And I'm not, fuck W.C. Fields and everything else. But when it's good, it's good. I mean, you can't argue with it. And those guys, that Cardone guy, fucking enthralled a full room without a microphone. Just fucking worked it like he was working the beach, and he was great. He was so good to the point where he finished, and I was mad he was finished. Like I in my head, because sometimes I see variety acts, and I'm just like, whatever the fuck, you and your plaid suit. But he was just fucking great, and then done too fast for me. He only did one trick and bailed that night. So I would really like to come and see him. Hopefully I can make it this Monday. We'll see what happens. If you want to learn about all the other shows that are coming up, you can go to MondayNightTees.com, or you can join the Facebook page, the Monday Night Tees group page. I don't know what they call it these days. Okay, yeah, so go ahead and join those. You get all the information about the upcoming shows. But I will tell you this, July 29th, That's a couple of weeks from now. What's today? The 17th? The 10th? Today's the 10th. So in 19 days from now, or actually when you're hearing this, it's 18 days. One day has been knocked off the calendar, folks. 18 days from the day you're hearing this, unless you're hearing it later, in which case I'm not going to do the fucking math. But if you're listening on Thursday, like most people do and should, you will know that in 18 days, the Quentin Tarantino Festival, D Burlesque Unchained, will be at, now, it's weird because it's supposed to be Django, but D Burlesque, why would I say D Burlesque?
Because our D's aren't silent.
Exactly. So the D's are not silent that night. Come out and see the D Burlesque Unchained Quentin Tarantino tribute burlesque show July 29th at the 3 Clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. Our friend Lily Von Stupp will be there, and she will be dancing. There will be twice. She's dancing twice, doing 2 different numbers. And there's just, once we get closer, I will start to give you individual names, but just trust me when I tell you that I've been involved in this show several times now, including once for Quentin Tarantino himself, and it is a huge hit, a beloved show. I will be hosting this time, the night of July 29th. And then afterwards, if anybody's up for it, we'll go get some Thai food at Toy. I don't know if anybody's going to be up for it or come to the show. Even tickets are selling pretty quick, right? Well, you and I will go. That'll be fun. If you're, unless
It's your
you're.
birthday, of course we're going.
Yes,
Bring
that's.
money for hookers. Bring hookers. How funny would that be? I bought 2 tickets to the show, Lily. Can you sit me up front? I brought a hooker for Mike.
Done. Perfect. I'm in.
Just don't get him on Santa Monica Boulevard.
At this point, I don't know, man.
I thought you like pussy and candy.
I do.
What if those things would not be if he picked up candy on Santa Monica Boulevard?
There would not be any pussy involved. All right. Well, yeah, let's keep them off the track at Santa Monica. And look elsewhere, please. And try to shoot a little higher than Streetwalker for me. Come on, it's my birthday. So that show is available. Tickets are on sale now, and they are selling right now. So they're kind of flying out. So if you guys want, are there any seats left?
I think I have 11 seats left.
There are 11 seats left for the Quentin Tarantino Burlesque show on July 29th, and there's standing room only tickets available as well. So go to brownpapertickets.com and search either Monday Night Tease or Lily Von Stupp, and you will find all of the shows listed there to buy tickets for, including Quentin Tarantino show, and you can go ahead and buy those tickets and come join us on July 29th, and then afterwards, I should amend this. I keep saying we'll go for Thai food, but if you bring me a hooker, fuck Thai food. That is not happening. I'm sorry. I'm sure she's a lovely woman, but I am not feeding her dumplings. I may feed her dumpling batter, but I'm not going to be feeding her dumplings. You're so tired of this. You just want to punch out and get me out of your fucking house so you can go back in and saddle up.
You know what I'm going through.
Yeah, okay.
Feed me some more.
So that show's available. Go to Brown Paper Tickets and check that out. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and go to the Joe Business page. And while you're there, buy something, buy everything. There are plenty of things available for sale. There are For the Life of Schmitty singles available. There is, of course, the Schmitty Comes Alive podcast download. It wasn't a podcast. It was a live show from the podcast festival, so I guess it's technically a live podcast. Mugs are still available for the time being, but those are about to be gone soon. Somebody bought one this week. Thank you. That was nice. Tweakedaudio.com/40 is the place to go if you want to get your earbuds or cock ring watches or whatever else they have offered now. I haven't been there in a while, but Bruce is always very nice. So they've sponsored the show from the beginning. So please go to tweakedaudio.com/40 for all of your autoerotic asphyxiation earbud needs. If you want to buy artwork, we have prints available from the show, and that's any explosion of id that you can see, any of the artwork that's been associated with the show, anything you would want. We will go ahead and send you a print autographed by me, Lily Von Stupp, and the artist, David Hernandez. He's the important one. I can tell you that finally, all of the artwork orders have been filled. Everybody who ordered something, you should have received it by now. I'm hoping. Actually, I've heard from at least 4 of the people who I sent out, and they all received them, and they put it on Facebook and stuff. So good, I'm glad. And some of you got a little surprise from Mex in yours. Well, not some of you, all of you got a little surprise from Mex in your package. So I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for ordering artwork, and that's available now to you folks. Artwork is available to be ordered and autographed right there on the Joe Business page, as well as some T-shirts that are left. Hey, did I write that blog yet? No, I didn't. Someday, maybe I will, but it doesn't matter. Nobody's buying any shirts. And also, you can donate to the show In the upper left-hand corner of every page of MikeSchmidtComedy.com, you can click on the little Schmitty with his pocket out and donate to the show, and that's always appreciated. You make a one-time donation, which I enjoy, or you can donate $2 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, or $25 a month to keep the show up and running, and to keep Lily Von Stupp in her sex toys or whatever else she needs. I don't know. So please donate to the show, and please remember, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5 of this podcast are available for sale right now. You can get them all individually for $25, or you can get them all as a group. The UN of Evil box set is available for, it's 5 for the price of 4, so that's $100. And that's 5 years of comedy. It's like literally, I think it's 10 gigs at this point, or 12 gigs. It's crazy. And it's available. So buy it and fill up your computer with me. Let me come there and jam myself in your computer over and over until you're completely filled up.
Oh my god.
Do that. And I want to take a time out here and tell you this. There's, when you buy year 1 and year 2, there are liner notes for each individual episode of the show. And then starting with year 3, year 4, and year 5, I just did a long thank you letter, which is under the, it's in episode 1. I didn't do liner notes for individual episodes because, quite frankly, it's a daunting task. And also because I felt like it wasn't really adding the value that I thought it did. Like, when I was a kid, I would buy albums and I wished that the artists would include something of themselves in it. And then when they didn't, it was disappointing. So then I thought, well, if I ever put something out, I'm going to include something of myself in it. Not realizing that the shows themselves contain all of me. So gilding the lily by writing a fucking, 30-paragraph thing, it just seemed ridiculous. So I backed off after year 2. And you hear me in the show, and I usually reference stuff, and I go, hey, buy year 1, buy year 2, buy year 3, and you can find all that stuff. And people ask me where stuff is. I don't know, man, because if you think that I have any sort of plan or organization for where the show is going to start or end up, then you should go back and listen to the first 20 minutes of this show. This particular episode, because you will hear that I do not know what's about to happen at all. We do this without a net. So it's hard because people want to know where to find individual stories or things like that. And I know some of them. I mean, some of the bigger stories I can tell you where to find them, but there's a lot of stuff in there, man. So it was just way too much. There were some people who talked to me about doing some sort of liner notes, and then they wound up having to fall off because it is, you hear me talk, and it's really hard to catalog everything that I say. Well, our friend and listener to the show, Rich Galvin, has decided that enough is enough, thrown down the gauntlet, and he has started to compile the show notes for this show. And I should tell you that he has written me 30 times in the past month, asking me for direction, asking me what to do, and I have been a dick because I have not written him back once. Because it's, when somebody writes me and they keep writing me a few times, and then I feel, well, I've got to answer every letter from the beginning, and then after I'm 5 deep, I don't even I just want to hide under the coats and let it all go away. Eventually, I'm sure they'll figure it out themselves, and they don't really need to hear from me. And that's a fucking dick move and not cool. But, Rich is doing this out of the fandom of the show, and so I should have given him some direction, but I didn't. All I basically said was, hey, don't do it. Literally, because that's when he was talking about doing it. I go, dude, don't do this. I don't want to owe you anything. I don't want to turn into a thing. I don't have anything to pay you, because I don't. I feel terrible that I can't compensate people the way they should be compensated for helping me. Ryan, who runs my website, and Lily and David, who do the really big, important work for the show, and make it more than just a guy talking. Eventually, everyone will be made whole, I said. Hopefully. So I tried to talk Rich out of it, but he's a fan and he wanted to do it, and so he dove in, and he and his wife Kristen compiled fucking a ridiculous amount of notes for year 1. And even reading them in shorthand, I kind of knew it's a guy. Look, it's not comprehensive by any means, because he would kill himself if he had to comprehensively document my nonsense. But he did everything he could to make it as detailed as he could, and it's amazing work, and I am so happy that he did it. You can find it at mesablack.tumblr.com. If you're in the Westside 86 Jokers fan club, which, by the way, I should tell you, go ahead and join that. That'd be cool. I always put it on Facebook to tell people to join, but the people on Facebook have already joined. So I'll just tell you people, if you're on Facebook, join the Westside 86 Jokers, which is the Mike Schmidt fan club. I'm there, lurking. I don't post a lot. Sometimes I do. I'll come in and answer people. I try to, because, again, I'm just behind. I'm fucking behind. I'm working a lot. But if you go to the Westside 86 Jokers page, he's put the link to find all of the notes for year one. But if you don't use Facebook, you can go to Mesa Black, that's MESABLACK.tumblr.com, and you will find the year one notes that he's compiled. And it's really yeoman's work, and I want to thank him. I'll write him and thank him, but he didn't have to do that. It's funny. We did the Warrior Dash together last year, and he figuratively carried me up a hill. Well, now he's figuratively carrying the water for me by doing this. And it's funny. I even wrote him back, and I said, you asked for my involvement, but, if I had the time or the wherewithal to do this, I would have fucking done it. So if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. But I'm telling you shouldn't do it. But he was nice enough, even in the face of total ignorance by me, to go ahead and still compile it. And I'm grateful to him because it's fun. And it's really cool, and it's something that you can go check out. And, like I said, more of a book than a movie. So when I talk, it's really dense. And for him to go through and compile everything that he did, I got to thank him. I mean, it was really amazing and cool, and he and Kristen did a great thing. So go check it out at mesablack.tumblr.com, or go to the Westside 86 Jokers page and check out the portal that'll bring you there. And then join the fan club, and we'll all be friends. Let's talk about this. My CD... The Big Angry. I put up a promo on Facebook a couple of weeks ago, and I said, coming in July, The Big Angry. And everybody's like, dude, that's awesome. And I was wrong. Because, stupid me, I thought that it would be out in July because I just thought, well, the recording's done, and once we get the cover done, everything will be fine. I forgot you have to mass produce these. And since it's going to go platinum, it's shipping platinum. I don't know if you know that. My CD is shipping platinum. They need the time to actually print the covers and press the CDs, and it's a legitimate operation. It's not just me at my fucking house spinning a propeller hat. It's like a fucking company. A Special Thing Records is behind it, and they're putting the full weight of their promotional dick behind it and making sure that everybody gets fucked by it. So good for them. But it doesn't come out till August now. So you'll have to relax with your legs spread a little longer and wait for it to fucking go inside you. I got to get this out of my head. I got this fucking weird imagery. It's my own fault. You did it. You got like pheromones in the air or some shit. I don't know. That's fucking crazy. It is. There's like a joystick in your vagina, and they're fucking luring me in. All right. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna climb into your vagina, and you're gonna wall it off like the cask of Amontillado.
No.
So it's the vagina of Amontillado, the telltale vagina. I can hear the beating of his horrible heart inside of her vagina. So the CD is called The Big Angry. I'm excited about it. We're taking care of it now. We're going to be printing it up and all that. I don't have an exact date yet in August, but I can tell you that it will be August because I've been told it's like a month of turnaround, and so we're just about done getting them, the Special Thing Records people, all the artwork and everything that we need to have within the CD. So people have asked me when it's coming out. And they're like, oh, dude, are you going to have a release party? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? And I'm like, I know, probably not. I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm just telling you now that the CD will be out in August. It'll be available for digital download. But when you see the artwork, you're going to want to own a physical copy. That's all I'm going to say. So the CD is on its way, and that's something I'm proud of and excited about. So that should be fun. Hopefully you'll be involved in that. This will be different for me. I want to throw this out there. There's a listener to the show who I've met. Actually, I met him in Mount Clemens, Michigan, which was my Detroit show. And he has been a diligent fan, very nice, sent me his books that he's written. Robert Chaz Shute is his name. He's my friend on Facebook. And he is the guy, I think I've mentioned him on here before, he constantly writes Joe Rogan to try to get me on the Joe Rogan show. And Joe Rogan does exactly what I do and goes, who the fuck is Robert Chaz Shute? And ignores him completely. But it doesn't stop him, and he's not daunted, and he always tries to get me on. Well, he had a bit of a health scare, and he even told me in Detroit, like, it was a thing, where I'm not good with serious. So he was nice, and he told me some stuff, but he was kind of vague. But I got the idea that there was something going on, because meeting him was a kind of a big deal, and he's always been very nice and reached out to me and really done what he could to support the show. But I wanted to say congratulations to him, because I have found out that he has passed all that. He's taken his tests and everything is fine. And it's good to know that Robert Chaz Shute will carry on and bother Joe Rogan for years to come. So thank you, Robert, for all that you've done for me and for the show. And I'm glad to hear that things have worked out well for you. And the flip side of that coin is we have a friend named John Waltz, who I met in Kansas City, and is just a crazy fan of the show. He was a fan of Never Not Funny first, so he's been with me a long time. And I found out this week that John is going to be struggling with some medical issues. And I don't know whether to talk about it, but he put it on Facebook, so it's kind of well known. But it's not my place to unveil it to everyone because you're not all in his feed. Who knows? The bottom line is John is about to enter a real challenging period. So if there's any way we can all think about John and hope things go well for him, that would be great. John and his wife, Kendall, who I should tell you, it's funny, I'll say this now. John probably doesn't even know this, or maybe she did tell him. Kendall tried to hire me to individually come out and visit John in Kansas City. Well, she wanted me to do it, well, not in Kansas City. They live in like some small, that's the thing, is they live in some fucking shitbox town. No offense, John. But it was really a small place. And she's like, I would love to get you to come out here for his birthday. I think it was in January or something. And she goes, you could come out and it would be a thing. And I was like, well, if I could do a live date, I could tie it in with that. And then I could sell tickets and make it. And I go, because otherwise, you're looking at airfare and putting me up and paying me and all that for my time. And that's a lot of outreach. And she's like, well, maybe it can happen. There's a live show you can do. And it was this tiny town. And I'm like, look, nobody there is going to come and see me. It's not going to make any sense. So you're going to be out of pocket for a lot of dough. And we tried to make it work. But then unfortunately it just kind of didn't happen. So John, I don't know if Kendall ever told you that, but please know that she actually reached out to me and said, don't ever say anything about it on the show because I don't want him to know. Well, no, at the time when we were trying to make it happen. Now I don't give a fuck. Who cares? And besides, the guy's sick. He's not going to be around much longer, so who cares? Come on, we're kidding. We're having fun with John. But John is a good friend. And John, actually, I will tell you this. John, he was a longtime donator to the show, and then he stopped. And it was kind of surprising to me, but whatever the fuck, that happens. But then he actually wrote me, and he said, listen to me. And this is what knocked my dick in the fucking dirt, because this is before I knew he was sick. He wrote me and he's like, hey, I stopped donating to you and I do apologize. But after I heard the show where you said just press 3, it made me realize you offer me something that I need to pay for. So I've gone ahead and re-upped my donations, which was amazing. And then, of course, I found out a month later the guy's ill, and I'm like, great. So now I want to just cancel it just so he has every fucking dime that he needs, because more important than his donations is his support. And he's been around, like I said, since Never Not Funny. He's always reached out. He's always said great things about me to other people. He was so great with me in Kansas City when I met him. But he's about to enter a real challenging period. And if there's a way we could all think about him and hope that things go well for him, that'd be great. I'd appreciate it very much. Thanks to him and Kendall for all their support. And I will tell you that once I found out that he was sick, I realized something that I did not know about John, something that we've had in common for a long time. And I didn't know that until just now, finding out that he's ill. Apparently, John also buys facial scrub from Bliss Spa in New York. And he lives in some bullshit podunk town that doesn't have Propaganda 65 to protect him from the killer chemicals unleashed on the world by the Bliss Spa. But John, hang in there. Please know that I'm doing everything I can to get Propaganda 65 to spread out to wherever the fuck you live. I forget where it is. Some fucking Nowheresville. You're in a fucking shed like the Unabomber. I have no idea. All I know is Kendall tried to get me to fly out there, and they said, I'm sorry, planes don't go out there. Would you like to ride a horse? I didn't even know that United offered horses. I didn't even know American had a horse fucking express. But sure enough, when I tried to book a flight to where you live, they said, hey, we've got a nice horse that'll take you a wagon train. Would you like to get out there by wagon train? And I said, probably not. But maybe. I'm human lunch meat. I'm nobody. I'm baloney in pants. God damn it. Why do I think I'm somebody special? Why do I think I'm anybody interesting? I'm not. All I bring to the table is everything that everybody else does, but louder. Don't hit snooze on me, motherfucker. I am a hilarious noise machine. I'm going to tell you this. You need to sit down and reevaluate your life if you can pull 2 midget Indian wrestlers out of your skull at any time. You know what? I don't even need you people here. Seriously, I do this. I love me. I don't give a fuck what you think, how you think. God damn it, I'm the greatest. I can't go for Schmidt. No, no. No can do. 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 No can do.